Rachel here. Excuse me. As you can see, I'm not wearing any makeup whatsoever, and that's because I'm going to do a tutorial for you guys. If you remember the last video I put up my outfit of the day, I mentioned that my husband and I were going out of town for his brother's wedding, and all of that. It went absolutely fabulous. We had a great time. The wedding was wonderful. And I went up there intending to be the videographer, which I did do that. But a couple days before the wedding, myself and my mother-in-law and the mother of the bride and one of her bridesmaids took the bride out to get her nails done. And while talking, the bridesmaid asked her what she was going to do about her makeup, and she's like, I don't know. So, after a couple of moments of like, okay, and I was like, I'll do it. I'll do your makeup. So, I ended up being videographer / makeup artist for the bride. It was fairly easy actually, because the bride, she's not a girly girl. You know, she grew up on a farm. She's more tomboyish than anything. So she didn't want a lot of makeup. She just wanted something to just kind of like play with her eyes, that kind of thing. But she did not want to look like she had makeup on, was it. So, so this would be a good look, you know, if you're somebody that doesn't want to wear a lot of makeup, but you maybe have like a special event where you feel like you need to wear makeup because you're gonna have pictures taken, that kind of thing. You know, luckily she was a good sport about it. You know, she let me do my thing, and I ended up getting quite a few compliments about her look from people, you know, complimenting me on how good of a job I did. So, and she liked it, which at the end of the day, that's all that matters, is the bride liked it. So, but you know, I thought I would share what I did with you guys. Just in case, you know, this is maybe a look you want to try for yourself. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, first thing I did is I prepped her face with the e.l.f. Mineral Infused Face Primer. This is just a clear primer. This doesn't, more than anything, that just kind of helps create a real smooth, silky base to put the rest of your makeup on. Luckily, the bride has really nice skin. She's got paler skin than me. So she's fair skin, but no blemishes or anything, no acne. So it really had a nice, clean canvas to start with to begin with. But just because I knew she was, you know, having her picture taken and all that, you know, I wanted to get as nice a surface as possible. So just put that all over the skin. And since she didn't want to look made up, and since she has really nice skin, I didn't use actual foundation on her. First of all, she didn't own any. So I had to go to Sephora to find something to put on her face, so that I'd have something to work with. So we ended up picking up this tinted moisturizer by Laura Mercier, I think is how you pronounce it. This is real nice. It's oil-free. It's very light. It's got SPF 20 in it, which is good because she was outside for quite a while for the ceremony and pictures and stuff. And then this is in the color Nude. So, and this looked really nice on her skin. It just gave, you know, a nice even look to her face without actually covering her skin. So allow things like her natural freckles to still show through, that kind of thing. It does have kind of an odd scent to it, though. I can't say I care for the smell, but if you can ignore that, it's not bad. So I'm just going to put that on a sponge because it's so light. You don't really want to use a brush because you could end up putting too much on. And I don't really want to use my fingers, you know, touching her face, that kind of thing. So use the sponge, kind of dab it on the face, and then use the sponge to blend it out. And if you've got light skin, a lighter skin tone to maybe a medium skin tone like mine, like not super dark, you can probably get away with a nude, especially because it's so sheer. It's not like an actual foundation where being the right color is more important. So. Just want to make sure you get that on. There we go. That's good. So you can see just a little bit of color, but not so much that it looks caked on, which is good. And then next to set the moisturizer, just so it kept in place and didn't rub off, I used my e.l.f. translucent mattifying powder. You guys have seen this before. So let's pick that up with a fluffy brush, tip off the excess. Just quickly buff that over the skin. Like that. And then to do her eyes, I just used Boing by Benefit. This is in number 1, color number 1. I just took that and put that on her eyes to prep her eyes for the eyeshadow. Like I said in my other videos, I like using the Boing both as a eyelid primer and also as a concealer, but in this case I needed no concealer because her skin was perfect. Got that all over the eyelids. And then she's got like grayish blue eyes. So to be a little softer, I used brown eyeliner instead of black. I'm not a huge fan of eyeliner, but I thought to help define her eyes, because her eyes are a bit on the smaller side, and then she's got smaller eyelids too. I said help play up her eyes. I went ahead and did some eyeliner, but I put the eyeliner on before I did the eyeshadow. That way, when I put the eyeshadow over it, the line's not as harsh. So this is just Wet n Wild Mega Last retractable eyeliner, and this is in a dark brown, number 693A. So I'm just going to put that on the eyelid, right at the eyelash line, or as close as I can get. you want to wing it out, you can. In this case, I didn't. I just did right at the eyelash line, that's it. And just the eyelid, you know, not in the tight line or any of that. This you can't use. I don't believe you can use this on the tight line anyway. I don't think this is safe for the tight line. But she was like, no, don't. You're not putting anything in near my eyeball. And I'm like, no problem. Because I'm not a huge fan of doing the stuff on the tight line anyway. And then for her eyes, I used my e.l.f. Palette that you guys have seen in another video. This is just a smaller palette I got off e.l.f. a month or so ago. This is the warm palette, so this has got all sorts of browns and nudes and some golds and a little bit of plum in it. And I didn't use... I used all the matte colors. There's matte and shimmery colors in here. The ones I used were all matte. She did not want any sparkle whatsoever. So first I used this color right here, the second row from the bottom. So you got the bottom row and the second row from the bottom, and it's the second color in, this one right here. This is the color I used on her all over eyelid. So I'm just going to pick that up with, this is an e.l.f. brush, eyeshadow brush. It's just a flat, fluffy brush. Just going to pick that up with the brush, tap off the excess, and just pat that all over the eyelid going up to the crease. And you want to pat, since you already got your eyeliner on. You don't want to smudge, because you don't want to smudge your eyeliner. About the eyelid. And then above the crease, underneath the eyebrow, I use this top color here in the top corner. It's just kind of an off-white color. I guess this one does have a little bit of shimmer in it, but compared to a lot of the others, it's barely noticeable. But it's a good highlight for right under the eyebrow. So I just want to put that in between the eyebrow and the crease. And now you can smudge a little if you need to. And then the last color I used was this one here, in the very bottom row in the corner. That one there, that dark chocolate brown. And then this is matte as well. This just doesn't have any shimmer in it. And I'm using an e.l.f. Contour brush. So it's, the bristles are kind of stiff, but it's more straight, and then it's tapered on the end. So it's good for if you're doing just things like the corner of the eye. So I just want to pick that up. Definitely tap off the excess because this color is pigmented. You just want to go in the corner of the eye and start going back and forth, kind of filling in the corner. You only want to go about a quarter of the way in. You just want to kind of do a V back and forth and fill in that V. Then you want to do the same thing to the other eye. Be in the corner, go back and forth. Real short movements with the brush. careful of any fallout. That's it for the eyes, at least as far as eyeshadow is concerned. And then I did put mascara on her, just to bring out her eyelashes, because she's got really nice eyelashes. So I'm just using my CoverGirl Lash Blast Volumizing Mascara. This is waterproof, which is good because there was a lot of crying that went on that day. So I was going to take that and just do the upper lashes very carefully. I'll tell you what, it's a lot easier to do mascara on somebody else than it is yourself. See, I got some there on my nose. There. Close enough. There. Got that off my nose. And then that's it for the eyes. And then for her cheeks, I used an e.l.f. blush in Peachy Keen. This is one of my favorite blushes because it just gives you a nice bit of color to the cheeks without being too harsh, because it's not pink, it's not red, it's just peach, and it's got a little bit of shimmer in it, but not a whole lot, so it helps you know, highlight the cheeks some. So I'm just gonna take a big fluffy brush, just a e.l.f. brush, total face brush. Pick up some blush, tap off the excess, smile. Pick up some more, tap off the excess, smile. Bring it up a little, maybe into the temples, just for a hint of color. A little on the nose. Right? And then for her lips, she didn't want lipstick or anything. She just wanted some color. But since most of the rest of the face is fairly neutral, I did want to give her some color so that it shows up in the pictures and all that. And this is not the same color I used on her. It was an e.l.f. lip gloss I used on her. Unfortunately, I cannot remember the name, and I gave it to her to keep so that she could do touch-ups throughout the day. So I don't remember the name of it. So I'm just going to use an e.l.f. Same line. It's one of the super glossy lip shine glosses, and this is in Goddess. The one I used, so Goddess is a bit more, has a bit more brown tone to it. The one I used is a bit more red, but it wasn't red. It was more like a dark pink almost. But I'll put that on the lips. Like that. And this is the final look. This is pretty much what the bride looked like on her wedding day. Like I said, it's fairly easy. It's not too done up. I mean, this is easily something you could wear every day. As you can see, that doesn't involve a lot of product or a lot of time to do it. Obviously, you can omit some things if you want. If you don't want to do eyeliner or mascara, you don't have to. I usually don't want to get ready during the day for the day unless it's a special occasion. But, you know, if you like wearing mascara, obviously, you know, you can do that. But yeah, it's a nice neutral yet classic, I think, look that can be worn for all sorts of occasions, you know, weddings, parties, you know, whatever. where you don't want to cake on a whole bunch of makeup. So I just want to share that with you guys. I was a bit nervous. I will admit, you know, as soon as I volunteered to do her makeup, I'm like, oh, what have I brought with me? Because all I brought, you know, I brought just my small makeup case with me with most of the stuff I was going to use on myself. So I did have to buy some things. I had to buy the tinted moisturizer and the sponges, and I ended up buying a lip brush so I could do her lips. I had to buy some brush cleaner so I could clean my brushes before I used them on her. But thankfully, for the most part, everything that you see, that you saw me use, I already had on me. That I was planning on using on myself. So, you know, you don't have to have a whole bunch of makeup to do makeup for a special occasion. You don't. So, yeah. That's about it. So, I've got tons of footage that we shot over the entire weekend. We've got a ton of pictures. My mom did the photography, so I'm sure she's working on editing those photos while she, you know, in her free time. My husband and I are going to work on trying to edit the video, all the footage, you know, as fast as we can, you know, with the time, you know, in our spare time between working on all that. So once, you know, that stuff's done, you know, I'll see about posting it on my blog so you guys can see, you know, photos and video and stuff from the weekend. But for now, you guys have got this. So hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and hopefully, you know, this may help somebody out there that is like, I've got an event, what am I going to do? You know, hopefully maybe this will help for you. So I will talk to you guys next time, alright? Bye.